Hey y'all, so my 1 year baptism anniversary was a couple of days ago, and it was one of the happiest days of my life. Just knowing what I was doing, who I was doing it for, and giving my life to God. It was just an amazing feeling, and it has been ever since. But ever since then, I have been really getting the urge to just tell my testimony and just tell the things that I've been through, because I'm only 21 years old, but I have been through a lot, and a lot of people do not know or would never know because I don't wear it on my sleeves. So that's what I'm doing today, and I want to tell my story without like too much detail. Maybe I'll go into detail about it another day, but without too much detail and without any names. Yeah, because I've always been afraid to tell my story, but I've learned that this is what I've been through. I can't lie about the things that I've been through, and I can't sugarcoat what I've been through. And it's my life. Like, this is what God saw fit for me to go through, so this is what it is. I lost my father at the age of like 2 to 3. I was turning 3 years old, so I never grew up with a father. So that's been really hard for me my whole entire life, but I really just stuck to the fact that he lost his life trying to give me a better life. So that's what kept me through. I did have a father figure in my life, a stepfather, so to say, ever since I could remember. So as time goes by, I'm about 11 years old, and I'm staying the night at my best friend's house a lot because that's my best friend, and they were literally like my second family. Like, I love them to death. I thought of them all like my brothers and sisters. My best friend was the youngest, and she had older siblings, like 10 years older siblings. So I got my menstrual cycle, and that's kind of when things went downhill. After that, every time that I went back to the house and spent the night with my best friend, I would be SA'd, sexually assaulted, raped. And at the time, I didn't really know what to think of it, because like, at the time I was very innocent. I never wanted a boyfriend. I never wanted to kiss anyone. I never wanted to do anything with a boy. Like, I was very innocent, and I always believed in like saving yourself for marriage. Like, that's what I always wanted to do, but I never got the chance to do that because it was taken from me. And like, that was one of the roughest times of my life. Just going through that, it was like over some time I kind of started to get over it. Like, I was over that happening to me. Like, I didn't want it to happen. Like, I didn't want it to happen to the point where I kept switching areas. Like, even went into a living room thinking like, okay, this boy is not gonna come out here and do this to me in the living room. But he did. So nothing was working, and eventually I was just over it. Like, I was like, I don't want to keep doing this. Like, what am I even doing? Like, I don't want to keep going through this. So eventually, in order to make it stop, I had to completely like cut off my best friend without any explanation, and completely stop going over there, and completely like just change from this really happy girl, this really nice girl, this really fun, energetic girl, to this always upset, always mad, depressed, mean girl, because I had no other way out. I had no other way out, and nobody understood at the time. They always thought that I was just being so mean to my best friend, and like, why was I being mean to her? Why did I stop talking to her? And I never explained this to anyone. I felt like I didn't owe anyone an explanation, because like, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, I didn't open my mouth, which is, you know, that's on me. I never opened my mouth at the time, but I found a way out. And it really hurt me because, for one, that was people that I loved, and I loved my best friend. She was literally my best friend that I was around all the time, and I loved her very dearly. But I had to choose. I had to choose. I had to choose. I could not keep going through that. So after that, he started treating me really bad, and at the time I didn't understand, but I fell into a really, really deep depression because of everything that was going on, and him treating me bad, and all of this stuff that was going on, and people coming at me because they think that I'm mean because of what I was doing and how I was distancing myself from everyone. For the rest of the couple years, I stopped going over there. I stopped doing anything that had to do with them. I got into different things, and I started to find myself having sex with other men, other boys, but they were my boyfriends, or what I thought were my boyfriends at the time, because I thought that in order to show this person that you love them, or in order to show them that you're their girlfriend or whatever, you had to do these things with them. That's all I knew. Like I said, nobody taught me anything. I wasn't just out there doing it with everyone, but I was still doing it when I wasn't supposed to at a young age. At this point, I'm in middle school, doing what I'm doing with these people. Everything continued to keep going downhill. It just kept getting worse and worse for me. One night I was in my house sleeping in my bed, and a little disclaimer, I sleep with my TV off in pitch black, dark, silence. So I was asleep, and I sleep on my stomach as well. I'm woken up by someone touching me. I open my eyes and I see that it's my stepfather, and I'm confused. I'm scared. This man is big. I'm in middle school. I know that he will hurt people because I've seen him hurt my mother multiple times growing up. I grew up as a little kid until then seeing physical altercations, screaming, different things like that all the time. So I knew what he was capable of, and I was afraid. I'm like why is this happening right now? Like I'm just asleep. I'm asleep. You know how some people have fight or flight? Mine was flight. So the way I did that was by just trying to pretend that I was still asleep. So thinking that maybe if I'm still asleep, this man will leave me alone. Which now it kind of doesn't make sense, but that's how I was thinking at the time. I'm in middle school. Maybe this man will leave me alone. He would be like, okay, just go sleep. Leave her alone. But no, that wasn't the case. He was still touching me and stuff. When he realized that I was awake, he even said things like, I know you're gonna tell your mom this and that. And I'm just like, what is going on? This is somebody that told me that if somebody was to try me, that they would handle it for me. This is somebody that told me that they will always protect me. And I'm like, what is going on? I am 12 years old. I'm 12 years old and you're touching me. This is crazy. This is crazy. What is going on? You're 30 something years old. What is going on? And that same night, he kept coming in 3 times. I think that he came in and out because my brother was still up and he heard something. And his door was right next to my door. So whenever he came out, my stepfather would lie and said that he was trying to fix my TV, which my TV was never broke. It was just off. My TV was never broke, which I am forever grateful for my brother, because if it wasn't for my brother, it probably would have been worse. But after the 3rd time, he never came back, and I don't know, I was really shook. I remember the police at the school coming, and my mom and my grandmother was there, and yeah, but it didn't really go anywhere, because at the time my mom, she told my stepdad that there was an investigation going on, which she wasn't supposed to, and it ruined the whole investigation. And he didn't end up going to jail or anything, which he was supposed to go to jail, but he didn't end up going to jail because of that. And they were still together for a while, and everyone knew, and my family knew, and they didn't try to make my mom stop or anything. And that was another thing that pushed me into a deeper depression and anger, because I'm just nobody believes me, nobody cares about me. All these people said that if anything happened to me, if anybody did something to me, that they would be there, that they would protect me. But I'm here, and this time I told somebody about what happened to me, and nothing happened, and nobody cares, and people are just going on about their life, and I'm here stuck. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I'm a young girl. I don't have no one that cares about me. I don't have a father. The person that I thought was a father figure touched me and then said that I was a liar and a bitch and all this different stuff. And I'm like, what did I ever do to you to like deserve that? So during that time, it was just a hard time for me. It was a very hard time for me during that time. I just felt like there was nobody there, and so I was very mean to people and different things like that. But I wasn't trying to be. I didn't know I was being mean to people, and especially my brother, because my brother, he's my twin brother. So it was only me and him, and then I had my little cousins. They were girls, and they were like much younger than me. But I wasn't trying to be mean to my brother, because at the time I felt like he was the only person that I had that actually cared, because he believed in me, and he actually was trying to stop it, and he was actually the only person that felt the same way I did, that hated him the same way I did, and that hated hated the family the same way I did, because nobody cared about me. Nobody cared about what I was going through. But the way that I handled the whole situation and everything like that towards my brother wasn't really good, because I distanced myself from everyone, and that included him. And knowing what I know now, he thought that I hated him too, but he was the best thing that ever happened to me. He is the best thing that has ever happened to me. Like, the way I love my twin brother, no one will ever know, because he was there when I was all alone, even though I pushed my own self away even more. So yeah, that's a different story that I can get into later. But yeah, so time goes on, and I'm still in this depressive state, and I'm still going through what I'm going through that nobody really knows. Like, I get into high school. At this time, I'm kind of not so in a depressive state, but I'm in a state where I just don't care about anything or anyone or whatever I do. Like, I had a really bad attitude problem. So I ended up getting in a relationship that lasted a very, very long time. It lasted 7 years. And it was a very abusive relationship, physically, mentally, spiritually. I was not nowhere in tune with God at this point. Like, I knew of God. I grew up in the church, but I had stopped going to church for years, ever since my first assault. And I was one of those type of people that was like, F the world, F everybody. I'm doing what I want to do. I live how I want to live. I don't gotta listen to nobody. But I was also still that really, really great student that had A's and B's, that was always in class, that strived to be the best, do the best, 4.0. Like, I was that type of girl. So I'm in this relationship. It's very abusive. It's mentally abusive. It's physically abusive. I get into college. I'm still in a relationship with the person. And when I moved to college with the person and into an apartment with the person, it just gets worse and worse. Everything in my life keeps going downhill. And I'm on the dance team in college too, guys. I'm on the dance team in college too. Like, at this point, people think I have this amazing life and I'm living it up. But they don't know that at home, at my apartment, I'm getting drugged, I'm getting beat up, I'm getting wigs snatched off my head, I'm getting cheated on every other week, I'm getting told that I'm ugly, that I would never be nothing, that nobody cares about me. I'm getting told that I'm only using you for this and that, and that's why I'm here. I'm getting told that I never loved you. I had stopped loving you years ago. I'm getting told that I'm the worst person in the world, basically, while I'm doing everything. Like, I'm paying all the bills, making sure there's food in the house, buying clothes, shoes, whatever. Like, I'm doing everything. I'm providing for me and the other person. But I'm being treated like the worst person in the world. I'm being cheated on and being slapped and punched and drugged and everything that you can imagine. At the time I wasn't seeing it clearly. Like, I'm just thinking like, okay, he apologizes, so everything will be better. Like, he's trying to do better. But then a week later, it goes right back into the same cycle. So it's a recurring cycle. We ended up moving into a house, and that's where things got extremely worse. Like, worse upon worse. I had gasoline poured on me, to be set on fire, like running away from a lighter to be set on fire. I've been choked, almost passed out, point of choked. I'm being kicked, I'm being spit on. I had a phone thrown in my face. I had a huge gash. It got smaller. Things just kept getting worse. I had a knife to my throat. I've had clothes ripped off of me to the point where I have burn marks from the clothes. Just everything that you could imagine, I've been through. Now I'm in this house. It's a beautiful house. It's a big house. It's me. I'm 20 years old in this house. Like, I have a dog that I love dearly, but I'm going through the worst. Like, I'm going through the ringer. And it was to the point now where I was crying every single day, and I did not know why. I really did not know why. I thought that I was happy. I thought that I was okay, but I was literally crying every single day. So I'll be told that I'm a crybaby. I have too many emotions, but mind you, I am not a crier. It was to the point where it would be nights or days that I would just sit in the bathroom and cry. And I would be crying out to God at this point. I'd be crying to God. I would be like, God, please kill me. Like, please kill me in my sleep. Because I knew that I could not kill myself. I knew that I was, first of all, too afraid to kill myself. I was too afraid to hurt myself because I don't like going through pain. And also, I was too afraid to go to hell at the time, to kill myself. So I just kept crying and crying, like, God, please kill me. Like, please kill me in my sleep. Please take me. Like, tonight, kill me. Like, I do not want to wake up. Like, I'd rather be in heaven with you, Lord God. I know that I will not be going through any of this stuff. And I would be crying to God. I'd be like, why am I going through this stuff? Like, why does my whole life consist of hurt and pain? Why does my whole life, all I know of my life is hurt and pain? And at the time, I wasn't realizing also the good things in my life, but more so, I was so focused on the fact that I keep getting hurt, the fact that I keep going through these things for no reason. Like, why do I deserve this? I feel like, I'm like, am I such a bad person that I have to keep getting hurt physically, mentally? I have to keep getting sexually assaulted. I have to keep going through so much pain for ever since I remember. Since 4 years old, seeing and hearing fights and screaming, and then going through assault myself and losing my virginity in a way that I never imagined that I would ever lose it, or wanted to even think about losing it at the time. And then going through more assault, and then getting into this relationship that is nothing but assault and abuse, physically and mentally. Like, at this point, God, I'm tore down. At this point, God, I have nothing left. At this point, like, God, my self-esteem is nowhere. At this point, God, I think that I'm the most ugliest person in the world. At this point, God, I think that I'm the worst person in this world, because why am I going through this? Like, why did I have to live through this? Why did I have to go through this? Am I such a bad person? What did I do at the age of 10 to deserve this for the rest of my life? Like, how can this get any better for me, God? How can things get better for me, God? How can I don't want to live anymore. I don't think anything will get better. I think that the rest of my life will still be nothing but pain, because that's all I know, God. All I know, God, is hurt. All I know, God, is the fact that I keep going through this stuff, and I don't understand why me, God. Why me, God? Why me? So at this point now, I'm getting back in tune with God without realizing that I'm getting back in tune with God. But what I didn't realize is God will put you through these things so that you will have no choice but to run to him, that you will have no choice but to call on him. So now I have no one. Now I'm in a whole different state. I am in college still. I'm in this big house. It's only 2 people in this house and a dog. So I have no one. I have someone that is treating me like complete crap, and a dog that loves me dearly, and I love it. So now I'm here. Now I have no one but to call on but you. I can't kill myself. I can't do it. So now I'm trying to find a way out this time. I'm trying to find another way out this time. I have no way out. I can't kill myself and I don't know how to leave. I can't kill myself and I don't have enough strength to leave. So I'm calling on God. I'm calling on God. At this point during this time, I would take a month and come back home for a month and leave the person when I could not handle it anymore. But nobody knew at home what I was going through. But I would come home like nothing happened, like just saying like, oh, like, you know, I'm down here because I just miss home and I just need some time. The last time that I came down on break, my mom had started going to this new church for the first time in years, and she invited me, and I'm like, hey, like, at this point I have nothing to lose. So I visited the church and it completely changed my life. I was taught that Christianity is not what I thought it was, and it's actually just your relationship with God. So once I was taught that, I started reading my Bible every day, every night, really all day. I started reading. I was so heavy into my Bible, and I was praying every morning, every night to God. So when I got back to finish my last semester of college, I was still praying and in my Bible, and I started to see things for what they were. I started to see the abuse. I started to see how much I could not take it, or how much I didn't want this to be my life. I started to see it more and more and more. And I would tell the person like you only got one time, and I'm done. So at this point, like, life is amazing. I started to be treated like a princess and different things like that. But this one incident came up, and the person said something. It was one sentence that they said, and I heard it exactly the way God wanted me to hear it. Clearly, I heard it clearly, and I was able to gather up enough strength to completely leave that relationship. And I left with whatever I could fit in this car. So this car was packed to the brim, to the point where I could barely see the back, and I had to leave that same day, and take that 9-hour trip with a car full of stuff. And my aunties and my mom met me halfway, which I'm so grateful for, and they got me back home. So that was another time in my life where I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was hurt really, really bad. I was really, really hurt. And I was just trying to figure out life. I was trying to figure out what was next for me and how I was going to get through it. But all I knew now was that I had God. Like, I knew that it was just me and God. That's all I knew. And I knew that I did not want to be in another relationship. I did not want to deal with anything that I didn't have to deal with. And I wanted to actually heal. Like, I wanted to be healed from all of my trauma, everything that I've been through. I wanted to be healed from it, and I wanted to forgive everyone for whatever they did. It came up to literally a couple weeks after I had moved back to my hometown that they were doing baptisms, and I got baptized. I was like, I might as well. Like, this is my chance. This is my time to renew my life. I just got out of this horrible relationship. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to grow as a person. I'm trying to love these people that I feel like did me wrong. I'm trying to forgive these people that did me wrong. I'm trying to give my life completely to God. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get baptized and do it the right way this time. So I did. I got baptized, and it was the best day of my life. Like, I was so happy. Anybody can tell you that whole day. And ever since, I have been very happy. Like, yes, I go through things still. Yes, there are still bad times. Things are not easy, but they're easier with God. And that's what I had to learn. So, yeah, I just said all that to say that you never know why you go through the things that you went through and how it could help someone else. And I kept on building my relationship for months and months and months. I was even sleeping on the couch for months and months and months. I was completely broke. I didn't have anything. But after I got baptized and was going to church every week, I ended up getting a job, getting back on my feet. I was still sleeping on the couch for a long time. But I was giving God all the praise, all the glory for everything, for my entire life, for everything that I've been through. And I got set free from my past and my trauma. And God taught me what love truly is with his love. Like, during the time where it was just me and God, he taught me what his love is. He taught me what to be loved unconditionally feels like, and what it is to trust in him and to have faith in him, and to yearn for him daily, and to make my life be completely in his hands. And he sent the most amazing man to my life, a man that was everything that I prayed to God for. Like, he's all of the things that the scriptures say what love is. He is that. And all of the fruits of the Spirit. He is patient, he is kind, he is loving, like, he's emotional, like, he's emotionally available, which is something that helps me to become more emotionally available. And he's just an amazing man. Yeah, so when I thought, or all the things that was implemented in my mind, of the fact that, like, there would be nobody out there for me, and that there would be nobody that is kind to me, that there would be nobody that is just the nicest person in the world, God gave me that. God showed me that that was all lies of the enemy, that there is that person for me, that God literally created someone for me that is perfect for me, completely perfect for me. And I just said all that today to say that you never know what God has in store for you. So to not give up, and to not give in, and to keep pushing, keep striving. I am only 21 years old, and this is all the things that I've been through. There's much more that I can go in depth with, but this is just everything that I can remember off the top of my head, going down the timeline of my life until now. I'll be 22 next month. But I said all that to say that you never know why you've been through the things that you've been through, and you never know how much your life can change. Even when you see no way out, or you feel like there's nothing good coming from life, that nothing can get better, trust me, give your life to God. He will give you the strength to leave. If you need to leave, if you're in a relationship that is horrible and you don't see a way out, give your life to God. He will give you the strength to leave. He will give you the strength to be able to overcome whatever obstacle you're going through, whatever trials and tribulations you're going through. With God, you can get through anything. With God, there is nothing that can hold you back. God is a way maker. God is a promise keeper. He loves you completely, and he will prove it to you. He will prove his love so much to you that you will be so unrecognizable to yourself and others, because they're like, what happened to you? God happened to me. That's all I can say, is God happened to me, and I'm so grateful for it. So that's all I needed to say. That's just my testimony, and yeah, that's all I have to say.